Oh, Frank, right?
Yeah, Frank and Dad's younger brother. And he went into the Army. And so when he was in there, why, he got shot, just wounded, and was in the hospital a while, and then he got back out and went right back in the trenches with his group. And so then they was in Germany.
This is in World War II, right?
And so he was in Germany, and there was a machine gun nest up above him, and they was in a trench in a foxhole, and the machine gun nest had killed a couple of his buddies down there in the ditch. And so Frank's crawled out of the ditch, crawled 500 feet or 1,000 feet up a hill, and shot a couple of Germans on the way up, and his gun was empty. And when he got to where the machine gun nest was, why, he stuck his gun down in the thing, and it's wrote up in the paper. He stuck his gun in down and made him surrender. So he surrendered them 3 or 4 Germans with the machine gun, and he had an empty gun. And he took them back to his thing and turned them in, and they sent him off somewhere. Then it was just a couple, 3 days later, that they was going up some hill, and he got shot through the hips with a rifle. And then they tried to take care of him over there, but they couldn't, so they sent him back to the States. And while he was in the hospital in Missouri there, why, he started getting better, but the doctor talked to him about what happened to him, and found out he'd made the guys surrender and all of that, and then he was shot through the hip, so they kept working with him.
He was in that hospital in Springfield, Missouri?
Yeah. So he was there for several months rehabilitating, and after he got better, they discharged him, and of course he had some money from being wounded and everything, and he went back to Pueblo where his mom was living, and he bought a piece of property. This is after he was shot through the hips, and he went to Pueblo, bought a piece of property, built a house, got married, and had 5 kids after that. So he was a go-getter, but he was just like his dad. He was a bluffer. And the reason his dad was a bluffer is because he was in Missouri, and he had 11 kids, and they took a covered wagon and come from Missouri to Colorado, and Grandma was pregnant on the way, and she lost that baby on the way, and they had 11 kids. And when they got to Pueblo, there was nothing there, but he wanted to get something. He didn't have anything to feed his family, so he took his rifle and he went out to see if he could find a deer or something. And so while he was there, he didn't find no deer, but he found 2 young steers. So he decided, well, we got to eat. So he lassoed that old steer, took him back to his camp, and he was butchering him out, and 2 guys on a horse rode up. And one guy says, "He stole my cow." And the other guy was a sheriff, and so he says, "Well, I don't know whose cow it was, so I'm going to take you over there to the circuit judge and let him decide whose cow that was." So Grandpa Hamilton got on his horse and took his rifle out of his scabbard, and he looked at that guy and he says, "When that judge turns me loose, you're a dead man." Rifle back in his scabbard, and they rode off down the road, and it wasn't too far, a couple of miles down the road, that guy says, you know, maybe that wasn't my cow. And the old sheriff says, well, you're free to go then. So he turned Grandpa loose. He went back and finished butchering the cow, fed his family. So he was a bluffer just like Frank was. Frank bluffed them guys into surrendering for that machine gun nest. And,